Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fighting Couch Potatoes. I'm Liquid Gold Steve, and I'm here with Kadawfi Crush.
Tornadoes are better than blizzards.
And yes, it's Jess.
Genos is kind of hot.
Literally.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't catch that, today we are talking about One Punch, a hero that has been forgotten.
Thanks for the opener, Steve. I'm really excited to talk about One Punch Man today with everybody. And with our special guest, YessItsJess today. She's been really excited to talk about One Punch Man. She's been talking about it nonstop. Just, Jessie, jump on.
I do like One Punch Man. I have been pretty excited about joining in on this episode. I think it's got a good plot line and comic relief. I enjoyed watching the show. I'm pretty excited for season 3 whenever that comes.
Season 3 does need to hurry the fuck up. Speaking of the episodes themselves and the comedic characters, we have a lot of characters here in One Punch Man. Saitama, One Punch Man himself. We mentioned him a little bit earlier about being hot. The demon cyborg Genos.
Oh, you mean the emo? Well, okay, the Sasuke, the Hiei, the Vegeta. Who else is this caricature of a side character?
He's a pretty banging ass number 2.
He is a banging ass number 2, but like,
I'm sorry. I know. I was just gonna say I actually thought this was Genos' show. Technically,
absolutely not. How Kadawfi said when we watched it, it
might as well be.
It was Genos' show until Saitama was there, and it was like, no, this is my show, dog.
Like, apparently Genos was out here fucking shit up until he met Saitama, and all of a sudden he can't fight no more.
It was a whole ass storyline that Genos went on to make himself that, and it was like, One Punch!
He said that he slayed like countless monsters before he met Master Saitama. And like, apparently he ain't never got worked before. Because that mosquito lady,
So yes, it's Jess. You said comic relief. Who is this comic relief?
It's and that's what's funny about it is like typically in stories the comic relief is like a side character, but the comic relief in One Punch Man is the main character, Saitama.
That starts all the way in the first episode when you meet Vaccine Man. Because like he's like, what kind of backstory is that? Well, I'm Vaccine Man. I was birthed from the earth and fucking pow. And it's like from this point forward, you get interactions like that. It's like anytime somebody interacts with Saitama, it's the funniest shit ever.
He's always way more worried about like his groceries or catching a sale.
A normal person with like godlike powers. This man is. He met a car man and didn't flinch. He was just like, hey, I'm going to hit you once and we'll see what happens. And he blew that man to smithereens.
He's bored. Nothing challenges him.
Ever.
Or not that nothing challenges him, because obviously the monsters do challenge him, but it's not a challenge for him.
Right. Nothing is challenging for him.
Right.
Well, when it comes to the comedic characters, there's a ton of side characters in the show. And like I said, anytime somebody interacts with Saitama, suddenly they are fucking hilarious. One of my favorite cases is Speed of Sound Sonic.
I could never get his name right. I kept wanting to throw the word super in there. Super speed Sonic sound. Or yeah.
Super Silent Ninja.
He makes me
Super
think of
Ninja.
Sasuke. He makes me think of Sasuke.
I think that's kind of his point. Sasuke, a little bit of that Hiei in him.
So he's not like he's just another Genos side character. Like,
well, I mean, Genos is like the side character that has the tragic backstory, right? But like the personality type. When you met Sasuke and you didn't know Sasuke's family was dead, that's the personality that Speed of Sound Sonic has. Like that fucking fuck you, I'm better than everything, and you can suck my ass.
So in the first few episodes, they caught. For me, I said this to Kadawfi. I don't know if you guys heard it, but it felt like a mini series in an episode. like there was 3 or 4 fights in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
He had like 2 fights in the second episode, and then it started getting into the actual hero association. And no, didn't he fought the animal people?
That was in the second or third episode, wasn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole first 3 episodes felt like a comic book. Like you were actually getting a comic book, not like an anime. Kind of like Kaneko Man. It kind of reminded me there was like the breaks were the next episode of the show.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. Like you're getting like a Saturday morning cartoon versus.
That's why he was the comic relief. That's why Saitama was the comic relief.
I see what you're trying to say. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, cause like when you would get the little mid cut breaks, you'd come back and it'd be like, the next day, the next week, the next storyline, the next piece and part. Like when Saitama had to deal with the mosquito woman, and then later that episode beat up the animal dudes, and then later that episode went on to deal with Carnage Kabuto.
That was like the 4th episode, but yeah, I get what you mean.
The 4th episode.
Like they were fuck you. Talking about mid breaks, this show right here has one of the hardest mid breaks. I like the new people showing up, and I love the colors that they pick for them, and the guitar riff, perfect. Chef's kiss, that shit's good.
It's pretty good. I do like the little mid cut breaks. I mentioned this earlier that I think One Punch Man season 1, the opener is like the most powerful anime opening ever.
And you mean like power as in strength, or is it just like you feel the shockwaves off this intro?
It's like a ballad that just rings the inside of your ear bones. It just makes you feel like you can walk through a fucking brick wall. Makes you feel like if you wanted to, you could go pick up the Eiffel Tower and play baseball with Saturn.
So it makes you a Kyle.
Makes you the warrior.
Makes you the warrior with my monster.
The music is good. I also like the art style. I think it's funny the way they drew Saitama, and like he would look one way when he was being serious, but he looked more cartoony when he wasn't being serious. That
was a great thing because they did it to they really only did the tornado and him. Like they would make him kind of cartoony.
Yeah.
I think that's a way to kind of like humanize those overpowered human beings. You know what I mean? Because like tornadoes, you saw how she crushed that shit up, and how she was like insulting people when she was destroying the spaceship and shit. She's super powerful, and I think it's just kind of a way to like humanize her. Be like, she may be a power monster, but she's also kind of cute and funny. And with Saitama, I think it's kind of the same thing. Like, he's this godlike powerful being, but if he always looks like the godlike powerful being, then you have to kind of take him seriously all the time. Versus when you look at him, he's kind of pudgy and unmuscular, and
he's in a yellow suit with a white cape, man. There's no in red boots. In red boots. How is that? He looked like he got dishwashing gloves on his.
His costume looks better than
who?
The Great Saiyan Man.
Fuck you with the do-rag. He's the realest.
Cape Baldy over Great Saiyan Man. I call it.
You bunch of baldies.
Why was he calling everybody baldy?
Because I think that was his trigger word, man. So getting to like the first 4 episodes, getting through those, you meet Saitama, you meet Genos. He wants to be his disciple because he sees how strong Saitama is. Saitama and them and Genos had a practice fight, a little sparring match. And Genos looked all flashy and nice and had all these crazy moves. But
Genos got busy now.
YessItsJess. What happened? What happened?
Genos insisted that Saitama not hold back on him. He wanted to see what Saitama could really do. And Saitama was like, I'll hurt you. So I better not.
I break your spine.
Genos wanted the smoke. Saitama said, "Boy, you can't even."
You don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke.
Like, boy, you can't even handle that ass. Stop it.
But he did fuck up their surroundings.
He did a Dragon Ball thing. He just straight up took out a mountain. If anybody knows what a Dragon Ball thing is, yeah, he just took out a mountain. Like Gohan.
Is that something you're coining right now? A Dragon Ball thing?
No. Just for the listeners that don't watch a lot of anime. Because everyone picks up on Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece. That's like the biggest three that everyone in Bleach. Like that's what t-shirts do you see at Walmart?
Those t-shirts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Saitama and Genos really fought. And this is when Saitama finds out about the Hero Association. And this is what makes me laugh about this show. When they go to the Hero Association test and they get placed as a hero, I think they completely dissed My Hero at this moment. When they said, wow, it was that easy to be a hero? That whole sentence. Not even a full long paragraph. Just one sentence just had to diss the whole My Hero.
It's like those kids got to go through a exam of sorts too, right?
They are born with, like X-Men, they're born with it. And then they go into high school and they got to be accepted just like any, right. Japanese school, high school.
So like, it's like if Professor X was successful and they made like mutant schools all over the place.
Yeah, they made I think there's 3 big ones, but that's it.
And a couple little shitty ones somewhere.
Something like that.
Little underground mutants go to.
The public school. This is private school.
Public mutant school. Anyway, all right. Does anybody have outside of Saitama, does anybody have like a favorite character? They don't have to be a hero or whatever, just another character in the show, villain, whatever.
My favorite character, and he barely shows up, and he's real every single time he's on scene, is Atomic Samurai. That motherfucker shows up, kicks the shit out of whatever happens, and then he's gone. That's a perfect hero right there. That's like the perfect hero. He did up the dude that accepted the Monster Association. He did up the dude, the one of the aliens that came down to Earth. Mm-hmm. He had friends, but nah, man. If by himself, I think he could have did him up. I think Silver Fang gave him the confidence to beat him, but he could have beat him.
But somebody gave him Metal Bat gave him the idea of how to do it.
Yeah, he would have figured that out after a while.
I don't know. He fought him the longest. They hadn't figured it out.
His hair made me think of Wolverine for some reason.
It was the sideburns.
It reminded me of Wolverine, but I see what you mean.
Another thing that I really liked about One Punch Man was the way it sort of references and sometimes pokes fun at other animes and shows and such. And one thing in particular that stood out to me was the way King kind of took credit for Saitama's victories and wasn't a real hero, but he, kind of acted like one. It reminded me of the way Hercule Satan took credit
from Lil Gohan. How he snatched credit from Gohan over Cell. Yeah, and how he snatched credit about splitting Boo in half with his 45.
I'm always strapped.
But some of the stuff that I saw. I mean, an obvious one was Vaccine Man. He was Piccolo all day and tomorrow, right? One that I'm picking out, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about it, but I could be wrong. Bang and Bomb, they were like the Fist of the North Star and the Fist of the South Star from the show Fist of the North Star. One of them used physical attacks, and the other one did like slicey moves with their hand attacks. What was it called? Fist of Rushing Water, Crushing Rock.
I think so.
And what was bombs? Boom, boom.
Slicing wind, cutting water out. Something like that.
Slicing wind, cutting water. It's not that, but you're close.
They just had signature moves, man.
It's slicing wind something, but yeah, those guys kind of reminded me of the North Star and the South Star. There was that 80s tough kid aesthetic, like the Yusuke Urameshi and the Kuwabara and like the
Metal Bat,
the guys for the Kunimio games, River City Ransom and stuff. That pompadour look with the leather jacket, that fucking badass gang member Japanese thing from back in the day, kind of looked like that for Metal Bat. A lot of the heroes were references one way or another to other mediums, of course, other types of heroes. I guess it was just kind of to show that those guys really ain't shit compared to Saitama.
The way they did the storyline where King was taking credit for Saitama's victories was it was funny to me. I thought it was funny. And I remember, like, before we met King, I was speculating. I was like, man, why do people not know Saitama? Like, why does no one recognize him? Why is he not a known hero? Because he's good. Like, he should be known.
Especially after taking down that Titan fella. Like, you'd think the whole world know about him by then.
And I was thinking out loud, well, he can't gain any recognition because he's defeating them too fast. Nobody is there to see it. He's one shot and shitters and getting out of there.
And King's just there in the background somewhere. He's like, yep, I did that.
He's got a sail to catch, so.
Yeah, he's like, shit, I got things to do.
Oh, time to go. Talking about references, and I see what you mean. There is also one thing that was really clever with the reference. It was just the first episode. How Kadawfi talked about Piccolo, Vaccine Man is Piccolo. It's Chris Sabat that voices him.
Yeah, he uses the Piccolo voice and all.
Everything looks, oh man. And the Titan, the Muscle Man, was Aaron from Attack on Titan. So like it was like,
oh no shit,
it was the poke and ha.
So like the main character from Attack on Titan
is the
voice actor was the Titan dude. Mm-hmm. No shit.
That's the clever part, which was kind of cool seeing that. It wasn't like everything was like that. And King, to me, referencing Hercule Satan, I disagree, just because yes, they're kind of similar. Like they're taking credit, which is the reference. But King actually can't fight, which Hercule Satan can actually throw hands. Like in the martial arts tournament in the second season, I think Hercule could have been in that fight.
King can fight in video games.
King whoop your ass in the video game now.
You saw him playing King of Fighters?
I'm about to ask you that same shit. You see him playing Cough? Trying to show, he was talking about combo canceling and shit. He was getting in the game.
Because he's an otaku. He literally said to Saitama, I'm just a regular man that's an otaku, but I was just lucky to get recognition.
You saw the game he bought.
You saw you guys,
hold on. The little dating sim game he bought.
Hold on, you guys. We got to talk about the King engine.
So when King is about to bust some ass, and he about to fuck some shit up, his engine starts revving. In all truth, King has a heart condition, and when he gets scared, his heart goes nuts, and everybody can hear it.
Oh,
but
man.
Just that engine alone seems to scare off most monsters and make them leave him alone, just because they've heard he's the strongest man on the planet.
What was he, class S, like top 10? Or was he right out the...
He's number 7 class S.
So he's number... That's the funny thing, thinking what would happen. In the show, they say, if you're a hero that's not sponsored by the Hero Association, you're just a weirdo in a cape.
Yeah.
And
which I think is funny, because that's kind of like propaganda, because there's no law that says that people with powers have to be, heroes.
No.
There's like, it's not like Marvel Civil War, where like if you got powers, you either hang out with us or we put you in the cube. It's not like that. It's like it's more along the lines of like they're trying to create like a world government with heroes or some shit. Like they're trying to establish something.
My hero.
We're still in the beginning stages of like My Hero or whatever. Tiger and Bunny. We're still in those beginning stages. And I think it's kind of interesting to see them like throwing out propaganda like that. Because I mean, like, that way, if you're not backed up by the Hero Association and you're trying to save people, you could very well be the criminal in someone's eyes, or be called a creep, or have the police called on you, or have a hero called on you. I mean, I'm sure you'd hate to be helping somebody and then Golden Ball show up on your ass with Spring Mustachio.
They had to be a tag team. They were like Road Dogg and Jesse James. They had to be together.
They were the New Age Outlaws. I like how throughout the show, when you see like monsters causing chaos, there's like two guys you always see stretch the fuck out. You see Smile Man and Lightning Max stretch the fuck out somewhere every time. In the first episode, when Vaccine Man wrecked shop, who stretched out? Smile Man and Lightning Max.
Lightning Max looked so cool, and he had a cool ass power, man. I like them gun boots.
His lightning charged sneakers.
Man, that's some nice shit. He's a great street level character. Sorry. He's a great street level character. Yes, it's Jess.
Well, going back to the referencing thing, I noticed how one of their monsters was Orochi, which just kind of made me think of Orochimaru.
He did eat people.
Like a king of monsters of sorts.
Lord Orochi did eat a cockroach.
So, Lord Orochi, I don't know the full, of course, old ancient tale, of course. I don't know the whole ordeal, but that's a name that shows up quite a bit when we're talking about evil. Lord Nobunaga sometimes is referenced as like Orochi because of how like evil he was. He was like the Demon King kind of ordeal.
I'm just saying, it's full of references.
So
if you ask me.
And that's what I was saying. Like the references go pretty deep. Also, I think that's pretty cool. Which is something I kind of always say about One Punch Man. It's not for somebody who's never seen anime before. Like if you've never seen it, 90% of it's gonna fly right over your head. But if you have gotten into anime for a couple years, you know, maybe you can slip over to One Punch Man world and see some things that you're like, oh shit, there's that. And then there's that. And then, oh, cool. Okay, cool.
I also have two references that was pretty crazy. Tornado fighting Godzilla. The Land King because Sea King got beat up. Sea King was real.
Yeah.
But how they make Land King a literal side? Tornado showed up, dusted Godzilla. But my favorite reference is the season finale.
Boros?
Lord Boros. Kadawfi, what do he look like when he got full power? No, yes, it's Jess. What do he look like when he got full power?
Look like a troll doll, if you ask me, with the one eye. Little Cyclops. Man, he like a damn Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan 3.
He look like Super Saiyan 3 unchecked. I feel like Boros was kind of a reference, not just of Goku, but I think he was a reference of Goku and Frieza mixed. Like
yeah, I can see that.
Like if you could mix the two characters, this is kind of what you would get. Because you have like the unchallenged, ridiculous amount of power that Boros contains within him. And it's also something that's locked up behind a transformation of sorts. Frieza and Goku with the transformations, but this power being locked behind the armor and, you know.
He looked like Broly at the very beginning. And Saitama fights this man. And they're having like a knockdown, drag out. We're thinking Saitama's like throwing all the power into it. But you're thinking Saitama, because he's been bored. He's never fought an actual challenges came to him. He's fought in the Mosquito Queen, the Attack on Titan, Piccolo, Car Man, the Mole Man,
Carnage Kabuto.
Oh, that like everyone was so and then he was like, "Oh, I forgot my sale."
Yeah.
Straight up, just like get the fuck out of here.
He fought the Lion Man and his little whack friends.
What do you mean? The
Lion Man was cool. He just wanted to tell his side story. He fought a bunch of people in that first season. Like he got Sea King, of course. because somebody had to save the best hero in the whole show.
Oh, Moomin Rider.
Moomin Rider. Moomin Rider is fucking amazing for no reason.
I thought the tank top guys were funny.
Tank top master, tank top whatever,
tank top tiger.
Tank top tiger.
I did not like the brother, the black top, whatever.
Oh, well, I don't know, the tank top brothers. I don't know, man.
The tiger was all right, but the brother was an asshole
because he was a sniveling little.
I just thought it was funny because like they introduced the one tank top guy, and the next thing you know, there's a second one, and then the next thing you know, there's like a bunch of them.
There was a whole squad, just like the Hammerheads.
I like how Tank Top Master told Saitama he needed a tank top.
You need a tank top. Get the hell out of here. He didn't need no tank top.
It's like, you're pretty strong. You could use a tank top. I mean, the tank tops must help them harness their power or something, man. I don't know. Kind of like how Hammerhead had those special suits that made them like super strong. They could punch buildings over and shit.
Was he a normal human?
Yeah.
I thought he was born with like a little
He's
bit
got
super
like a
strength.
weird head, like a thick ass skull, which is why Sonic didn't kill him.
Lucky.
Power of fakeness.
Lucky. That he had plot armor that first episode. That was it. That one episode. That was it.
Shit, he went and got a job.
He's like, this ain't working. But so the whole first season, Saitama's fighting all these people, and he thinks he's actually got a real challenge. This man hits him so hard, throws him into the moon. Saitama's like, damn. He kind of threw, like, he starts playing with a rock. This man playing with a moon rock. Comes back down. Boros throws a few more hands, and then Saitama beats him with one punch. That was pretty. This whole thing, man, Saitama always thinks like the trump card to me.
I just like to know that Saitama's dealing with the big bad, so we don't have to lose any of the heroes that I like. You know what I mean? Like, I like to know Saitama's going to go deal with the big bad, and we get to watch these guys have a galactic battle with a level 2 ass monster. I'm okay with that.
So Superman.
I'm okay with that in Saitama's case, because Saitama has one power, not every fucking power.
He can run real fast, though. That was kind of cool.
That's part of his power set, because he's super duper strong.
All right.
What was the character that y'all couldn't stand? Someone you didn't like in the show?
Yeah, like you liked everybody? Every single person. Even the crab man that like killed kids?
I just didn't really have an opinion of him.
He was killing kids, so like your opinion is no
killing kids. He was going to kill a child for drawing nipple. That kid kind of had it coming with his big identifiable ass chin. I mean,
yeah, that motherfucker's over there.
You gonna draw nipples on a monster with a face that's so identifiable? What the hell wrong with you, boy?
I don't really think there was a character that I necessarily didn't like. I don't think so.
I didn't like Blizzard.
No?
I didn't like Blizzard. I think her existence is cool, but only because of Tornado. I don't like the way she moves. She got a whole gang. I kind of think when it comes to the hero world, she's over politicizing it and doing it the dirtiest fucking way you possibly can.
We're not going to talk about My Mask because he's doing the hero.
No, he's just in fucking charge.
He's just in charge.
He's in charge and making sure that like trash motherfuckers don't come up to S-Class. There's nothing wrong with that. They have to be able to whoop his ass to get to S-Class. How else can you make sure people are going to be protected?
Saitama would slide him.
Nobody's argued that. It's called One Punch Man, not a My Mask Man.
You think Genos could be a My Mask? Because they've never fought.
Possibly. A My Mask didn't attempt to attack him. Didn't even try to prove it.
I will say I didn't too much care for that one guy. I forget his name though. He was trying to fight Saitama in that tournament, and he knocked his clothes off of him. Right?
Oh, it's Siri?
Siri?
Siri.
The long hair fella?
Yeah, I didn't care too much for him.
I really like him.
I didn't like his attitude.
I love his attitude. He's my Yamcha. He's my Yamcha of One Punch Man. Guy that's just really cool looking, has a cool attitude, cares about the girls and the money, can beat your motherfucking ass senseless.
I like how he threw a challenge that he could do. Because you'd see Yamcha, I could do 100, I can do 100 G's and then almost die. No, he did 50 G's and almost died. But hey, I'll respect him because like he was that. He was that man. Like if Saitama wasn't there faking being somebody else, yeah, he'd probably win. He'd probably easily win. Until he cried like a bitch.
What's funny to me about the show is like as I'm watching it and as we're introduced to new characters, new monsters in particular, I keep thinking to myself, okay, this is the one. This is the one that's going to challenge One Punch Man, Saitama, right?
Yeah.
Like he's going to actually get to fight somebody for once, you know? And I thought that, you know, with the Hero Hunter. I thought that with Siryu. I thought that was Siryu. I thought that with the giant demon monster things that appeared in the tournament. Goketsu. I kept thinking.
Oh.
I kept thinking that Saitama was gonna get that challenge that he was craving, and he never did. He never did.
I think he feels the same way you feel because every time he would defeat somebody with one punch, he did perfect in the second episode. One punch!
Like, this is what it's like to be the best of the best.
I feel like as the show goes on, he's starting to let that concept go that he's going to get a good fight one day. And it's kind of actually settling into his hero role somewhat. He's starting to say motivational things himself, but they're half-hearted and he doesn't really care. Like when he told City, he was like, how do I become a hero? It's like, it's kind of easy. If I can do it, you can do it. Bye. And just left a crippled man in the middle of the tournament.
He's not, that's not half-ass saying something. Anybody can be a hero. Like anybody. He saved a kid as like nothing. Like he was a businessman that was laid off and was trying to...
He pulled that lobster's fucking intestines out through his eyeball, Steve.
It was like crazy shit though.
That ain't nothing.
But he is also a bit apathetic at the same time. Like he just doesn't really care. He's just like, you know, you can train as hard as I did and be a hero, you know, as strong as me or not. I don't really give a fuck. Live your life.
I think he sold his soul to the devil.
Like when King's sitting there crying and shit, and he's like, dude, just get stronger. The fuck wrong with you, brother? What you got to do is these 100 push-ups, these 100 sit-ups. You got to train till you go bald. You got to run your ass off. Don't eat. Don't drink. Don't turn that AC on. And don't turn that heat on. Just suffer. And you'll get as strong as me.
Master, that's a simple strength exercise.
He about told him that was bullshit. But what the hell Saitama Genos know about a damn strength exercise? He went the robot route. That motherfucker ain't done a push-up in his life.
He kind of did the right thing.
He probably got a body like Alphonse, just a fucking rotting corpse just growing up somewhere.
Fuck you. No, he probably got rid of his body.
It's probably sitting in a rejuvenation tank somewhere. A pickle jar.
But you brought him up earlier, YessItsJess. Goro. The big bad of the second season. The hero hunter. The monster man. The man that looks like Silver Fang if he was younger. He doesn't want to say he respects Silver Fang. But the way he wears his outfit, he respects the shit out of Silver Fang. This man, at the beginning of the season, I thought he was going to be whack. I thought he was going to just be trash. I thought Saitama was going to slide him. I was like, oh, this is going to be nothing. He did. Twice. Saitama slid him. And he thought King beat him the first time. And then who was the second person?
He didn't know who beat him the first time.
And then
because Saitama chopped his ass in his shit.
Don't touch my head. Bam!
Bam! Which that's something. I'll get that in a minute. Go ahead.
But continue on through the season. First of all, I wrote in my notes that Goro didn't hit a kid. He was an asshole and he was a prick to the kid, that he met in the park, but he wasn't like an actual bad guy. He was just an angsty. I'm gonna say anti-hero because he didn't kill the heroes. They even said the Monster Association even said that he didn't kill the heroes. Right. He just beat them.
He just wanted to make sure that they knew that when they woke up, that Garo did this.
Hey, man.
He needed his name to spread, and your name don't spread when everybody's dead.
So let me ask you this question, because I was trying to understand Garo, okay? Was it like, okay, I need to kill this hero just because he's a hero? Or was it like, was he gaining some kind of ability when fighting the hero?
So Garo was leveling up. He was gaining experience fighting against heroes. Because like when he first started fighting heroes, he made observations, was like, okay, they're used to fighting monsters and not used to fighting people. So like they were already at a fucking disadvantage because I'm trained to destroy people, not monsters. With the crushing water, flowing fist, rock boulder, destruction dance. And then on top of that, so he was learning things from each of the heroes he was fighting against. Like when he got his ass beat by Dogman. What was Dogman's name?
Watchdog.
Watchdog Man. There we go.
No, it's just Watchdog.
It's Watchdog Man.
Is it Watchdog Man?
Watchdog
I
Man.
thought it was just Watchdog.
Yeah, he learned how to, fight like a beast through him. So he wasn't.
I remember them commenting about him running on all fours.
Right, like some animal.
Yeah.
Right, he had gotten that from Watchdog Man.
So he just like picks up on like new techniques.
Right, as he goes.
Okay.
He develops as he goes. And he's also getting notoriety. He wants to be a monster, so to speak. The only time you actually did see Garo kill was when he did them villains up. All the criminals in the town. It's the only time when he killed that whole room full of people. Only time you saw him. He didn't even kill the heroes that were there, just the villains.
At the end of the show of season 2, which I'm waiting for season 3, I can't believe how old this show is actually. Surprising to me. But he gained my respect. He gave my respect from not hitting a child to almost fighting the villains. And when he was throwing that whole gang of heroes, they weren't S-class, but they were A's and B's and a C-class for support. They had a whole plan, and Garo still showed up and said, and he was beat up. And he was beat up.
Saitama's class selection was bullshit. I get that he failed the writing part, but he like way exceeded everybody in the physical part.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been put in C class.
I think they wanted to make sure he wasn't just strong but didn't have a brain. Because that guy could be a danger under your name.
Yeah.
He even cheated on the written exam too. How you cheat on the written exam
and barely win and barely get it, barely pass that shit?
I thought that was bullshit though.
I mean, they didn't seem to mind handing out S-class cards like candy. A and S classes, but I think they just need to make sure somebody with that kind of ability wasn't just a dee.
I'm okay with him being a C class and Genos being an S class because they were really kind of looking at Genos because he was cool looking, had all the fucking he was Robot Man. This motherfucker was Robot Man, so like they were like, yeah, motherfucker's awesome. But they saw Saitama and they were like, yeah, he is astronomically strong. But like how you said, we don't know if he's all there.
Because he doesn't seem like he's all there when you first talked to him.
And they had to test him, which he made it through C class pretty quick. He destroyed Lord Barros, and that's when he became a B class. Like, yeah. He was top 10 B class automatically. Because I like how he disappeared and then killed the main boss, and they thought Tornado killed him. Killed the whole, beat the whole fucking ship and all that shit. That's what pissed me off. That's why I always say Saitama is the hero that everyone forgets.
I mean, nobody even really knows he's active half the time when he's there. Until we get towards the end of season 2. You never really, no one, it's like season 2, Genos is always out there smashed to bits. And it's like, Master, Saitama's here. And, you know, and people are like, oh shit, Saitama. What's up? You know, now he's got King on his side and Blizzard know what's up with him. And more people, we're starting to actually, as I said, he's starting to get a little gang. And we're starting to see a little gang build around him. Friendships. Just collecting around him because of how downright powerful he is.
The episode where they are giving out their hero names. So when they did that, I was thinking to myself, okay, this is where Saitama gets his name, One Punch Man. This is, you know, the name of the show. Of course, he would be named One Punch Man. But obviously he didn't. And that makes sense because people didn't know he was One Punch Man.
Right. He was just Cape Baldy.
Right.
Right. Because they
bunch of baldies.
Well, they saw him steal the kill from all the other heroes when he killed Sea King. Remember, he took that L for everybody else because they was like, well,
he might not be that strong.
Maybe that monster wasn't shit if that guy just came over here and one-shot him. You know, and that one little fat fuck.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. I wanted to punch the shit out of him.
In the crowd that is just so unappreciative of the situation at foot.
Your ass was about to die, and this motherfucker shows up and one shots, and you better just start bowing.
They used to looking at Snack. Poor Snack. Snack stay fucked up.
I like the hero hazing. The very first time Snack show up and he's like, yeah, I'm about to whoop this fucking C-class's ass.
Stuffed in the ground like a damn ostrich.
And he's still carrying his groceries away. Like, it ain't... Come on, man.
But did he thump him?
He probably did like... And
I doubt he punched him. He probably slapped him.
Snack hit him so hard he rebound.
Possibly. Possibly. You know, one of the things I like about the second season was at the martial arts tournament. The first fight Saitama did when he was Shiranko. The guy he fought, you know, was like, what are you, a rookie? And he was like, yeah, I kind of don't know what's up. He's like, all right, I tell you what. I'm going to do my motherfucking leg breaker kick. I'm going to kick the shit out of you here. And then I'm going to cave your fucking chest in. And then I'm going to kick your fucking ribs through your asshole. And then I'm going to karate chop you in the top of your motherfucking head. And as he touched Saitama's head, Saitama, bow, shot his ass, Team Rocket at his ass. You know, Team Rocket's blasting off again. Ting. And like, you've noticed already that he don't like his head being fucked with. He doesn't like being bald. He calls other people baldies because he's insecure. He's now the Cape Baldy. And he's like, don't touch my fucking head. So even if he has the wig on, he's like, don't touch my fucking head. So later, when Saitama shows up as the hero, when that very martial artist becomes a monster and is torturing Senie, when Saitama comes to defeat him, the guy does his fucking leg breaker kick, actually kicks Saitama, fucking tries to cave his chest in with a super bear punch or whatever, tries to kick through his fucking ribs, shoot him out of his asshole, and when he went to chop Saitama in the top of the head, boom, boom, broke his ass into pieces. Don't touch my head, dude. And Saitama didn't know it was the same dude. Just little bits and pieces there I kind of like, you know.
He didn't know?
Yeah, Saitama had no idea who the guy was the whole time. He said so after he killed him. He was like, I still don't know who that guy was.
I'm telling you, man. His fights...
No, but he knew it was the same guy from before.
No.
Siryu had to tell him.
He was right there when he ate the...
No, he wasn't. He left. Remember, he got chased off. Because he was anybody with a headpiece or...
Got disqualified from the tournament. Yeah, and it left before the monster showed up.
I didn't realize he left. I thought he was there the whole time.
He was probably kicked out because once you break the rules like that, you know, in any sporting event, especially martial arts, you got to get the fuck out.
I like how
dishonored the arena.
I like how he's Superman. He went into a phone booth and changed into his attire after everybody got their ass beat. Like everybody got their ass beat.
I like how he don't hurry to fuck up either. And just like, you know, let me hurry up and get to I'll get there when I get there. I ain't worried about it.
Siryu could take an ass stomping a couple times.
Senie got nasty when he killed that German dude. with the superior genes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Like I thought Senie was gonna lose that fight. I was like, damn, never mind. Dude, way nastier than we thought. And then he tried Goketsu.
Oh yeah. It was over. It was over.
Yeah. That was the beginning of the end. Goketsu beat his ass, and then let his Ravens beat his ass, and then let that one dude with the sideburns beat his ass.
I'm gonna bring it back just a little bit. This is the beginning of the season, and they know that there's like an impending doom happening, which I'm guessing at the end of the season is pretty much what's happening. The impending doom.
Yeah.
I like how they tried to bring in the villains, like low-level villains, to take like C-class jobs.
Yeah.
So that the other fighter or the other heroes could protect or get ready for the for the
just
thing.
had more troops essentially. Yeah.
Do you think it was a good idea?
Yeah. I think in a desperate situation like the one they were in, because the S classes were already stretched too thin.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we had S classes that could be supported by A classes, the only way we could do that is if we had a significant number of C classes that were out there monitoring the streets, you know? So if we were able to get a bunch of these villains, and some of these guys would probably be in A class themselves, you know, we might get lucky with a few, convert a few over, just kind of have some checks and balances for them. I think it's a good idea. Now, can it turn ugly on you? Absolutely. But when you got things like Tornado on your side, right? And
YessItsJess.
Metal Knight.
Any do you think it was a good idea or do you think it was a bad idea? Because it kind of turned into a bad idea, but
Yeah.
they had a good idea, like they had a good concept. They went the wrong way with it, and Garo was there.
When it comes to recruiting villains to help out with the monsters in the city, do you think that was a good idea or a bad idea?
I guess I would be of the opinion that I think that was stupid. I don't know.
I respect that.
What it comes down to is what makes someone a monster, right?
Or a villain.
Or a villain, right? And it's not just like what they're doing. It's also their attitude.
Their mindset.
Their mindset, yes. And so to recruit a bunch of these people, even if they're weaker, maybe, they're not good people. Like, they don't have good intentions. So why would you know?
Well, you don't know that about each of those people.
No, you don't. But you run that risk.
You run a big risk.
And I don't think it was worth taking that risk.
I think you can take that risk when you have the types of heroes that they have.
Maybe you're right.
You know, some of their A-class guys, like the samurais, his entourage,
his disciples.
There we go. He's got good disciples. You know, there's some. Who's getting past Moomin Rider?
A lot of people.
No humans, except for heroes.
Actual heroes. I felt I don't know if it was like the subplot or like the background of this whole season. It was kind of not writing. It was kind of like showing that heroes are the best. How they were trying to get villains wouldn't work out, and then they brought in regular people. Like, it wasn't they brought in regular people. It was just showing that regular people can do things, but they're not heroes.
Right.
Like how Snek and Max Lightning.
Lightning Max.
Jumped in front of the big monster, but the regular people, the martial artists even, were scared to even fight them.
Right.
How I'm gonna say it again. He cried like a bitch. Shiryu, whatever his fucking name is, Yamcha. Man got beat up, broke his legs. He was crying. Please, somebody, please help me.
You know, most people that are being tortured by regular humans cry when being tortured by a gargantuan monster thing.
But you can't be that looking. All right, when he showed up, he was like, I'm the realest in the room. Bitches, you can't handle me.
Because he was the realest in the room until they made martial arts monsters. Like, until they made actual Akumas Who knew those existed? And especially an Akuma that wanted to torture him. We didn't know that existed either.
He wanted to smoke.
Like, he was handling business until Akuma and Nakuma showed up.
The twin brothers.
2 brothers.
I still believe the last 3 episodes of season 2 kind of disappointed me. The Garo fight versus all the heroes was fucking awesome. He showed was what. But how they ended it makes me ready. Like, they've got to pull out a season 3 sometime. Give me a movie afterwards, something. Saitama shows up, punches the shit out of the robot centipede looking thing, and that's it.
Talking about Sentichiro?
The big purple centipede.
Sentichiro.
He was just a robot.
It was not a robot.
They even said it at the very beginning when he showed up the first time. They said that's just a robot. There was no sentience behind it. That's why when Metal Bat hit him in the face, he wasn't getting knocked out. Yes.
That's no.
The Birdman from the monsters.
That was an organic being. I think you need to go back and watch that again. That was an organic creature. That wasn't a robot. That's why, like, when they broke his shell and stuff off, it biologically grew back.
He shed it.
He molted.
Or molted.
Now, robots don't molt.
This robot does.
Why don't you look back and I'll look back and we'll see who's wrong. He said robot. He said robot. It'll be episode 3 or 4.
I expect my text message tomorrow morning, Steve.
Okay.
I expect my text message tomorrow morning.
It's episode 3 or 4.
Because robots don't molt.
It's when Metal Bat fights.
Like, here's the proof that it's not a robot. You know that face on top of its head? Every time it molted, it opened up that mouth and a new face came out of the mouth.
Yes.
There was like several faces above the face that was functional.
All right, keep on dying on this hill, because when you're wrong.
Because like when Metal Bat hit him, he said he was really hard. You know, he didn't say he was a robot. Oh, that's starting to sound familiar, isn't it?
Nope.
That's starting to sound familiar, isn't it? But
no, it doesn't. I remember him hitting it, and yes, his bat moved really hard because it was a hard shell. But the Birdman or whoever was the damn Monster Association spokesman at that time.
Talking about that Phoenix thing?
Yes. He was talking about that's a robot. There's no sentience behind that thing.
Steve, there's no robots in the Monster Association. The monsters that are in the Monster Association come from the Earth.
I'm
just
waiting,
like
I'm
Sea King and Land King.
I'm waiting for that text when you find
Orochi,
out you're wrong.
And the Roach Man. Like, you mean tell me that like everything else is a creature, a biological creature, except for the Sentichiro and the other 2 Sentis?
Genos.
I'm talking about the Monster Association.
Shame.
Yeah. Genos and Metal Knight don't count.
And driving night.
Drive Night.
Yeah, those
Driving Night. A fucking jousting on top of his own car. Playing Fast and Furious. Hit the NOS.
All right, everybody. Is there any last thoughts or details that you think need to be shown or respected about One Punch, or are you excited about season 3, or what disappointed you about this whole 24 episodes?
Nothing disappointed me. I mean, honestly, Crush, early on you had asked favorite characters aside from Saitama. Saitama's it for me. Sorry. I mean, I like Genos. Genos is a close second for sure.
He's kind of hot.
Genos is hot. Saitama, when they draw him when he's being serious, he's hot then.
He'll snatch a gal.
Oh yeah. Until he turns to the cartoon, it's like, no, can't do it now. He can only hold it for 5 seconds.
But overall, it's a good, funny show. I had a lot of good laughs, and I enjoyed it. And I'm very excited about season 3.
I'm excited about season 3 also. Again, I've seen a itty bit on the internet, something about a thing called Cosmic Garo. I don't know what that's all about, but I can't wait to see it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Speed of Sound Sonic after he cooked up some demon seeds and ate it, demon cells and ate it,
or a monster cell.
And I'm excited to see this Blast fella finally. Hopefully, we'll get to see him because apparently he beat Sentichiro's ass. Blast is a robot, the level 1 hero. Oh, just being petty. I'm sorry. I'm really excited to see what more One Punch Man can offer. I hope that it doesn't come back and disappoint the shit out of us, a la Rick and Morty. I go One Punch Man. I hope you do well.
For me, I'll come back to the favorite characters. It's Garo, Saitama, it's Golden Ball, it's Siri, whatever you want to fucking call him. Sour Face Man, he was funny. Like a whole bunch of people. Like King's even good. Like, yeah, he is trash, but he gave Saitama in the show like great advice. He did read it in a manga though. I'm excited about season 3. One Punch was fucking awesome. I only watched the first season before. I think the second season was already out, but I watched the first season. Thought it was kind of funny. Didn't really go back to it. Saw the rest of the season. I disrespected Goro when I didn't watch the second season.
Yeah, he did.
And he will always be an anti-hero. He can say he's the monster man and the hero killer, but he know what he is. He about to tag team with Saitama in season 3. No, they straight up about to go back to back and about to fight something.
I doubt it.
I bet it won't happen.
I doubt it. Saitama don't need help.
Do you guys think Saitama will ever find his challenge?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of world out there. A lot of space. A lot of space. There's
only
something.
It's only season 2. There has to be somebody that gives him an actual challenge.
I mean, they might stop the series at season 3. Just get it. Finish it. Saitama might get. I hope he gets one good fight, one good slobber knocker. His eyes are bleeding.
I have one question. Does anybody remember the Pokemon that he fights that gets the kelp hair?
Tangela.
Was it? Is that what the Pokemon's name is? Because as soon as I saw the eyes, I was like, "That's a Pokemon.
That's Tangela.
That's a Pokemon."
Yeah. There was a yeah.
Oh yeah.
The kelp monster.
Because I was about to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
That kelp monster. That kelp monster beat up.
No, I was
Ball.
just saying. Oh yeah, like it came back to me. I was trying to.
That kelp monster beat up Golden Ball and the Spring Mustachio also, just like Garo.
What Golden Ball did to Garo was nice. He was real. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening today. One Punch Man, a perfect anime, comedy, action, great set pieces, beautiful, beautiful artwork. Love some of the scenes. Some of the stills are great. Pui Pui Princess or Pui Pui Prisoner can go fly a kite in a rainstorm with lightning because I don't like him. I'm Liquid Gold Steve. I've been here with a special guest, YessItsJess.
Thanks for having me.
And Kadawfi Crutch.
You stay classy. And thanks for stopping by.
Was that bad?